Hello, boys and girls, and welcome to another Your Story Hour program. This is Aunt Carol.
And I'm Uncle Dan. We're glad you've joined us because Aunt Carol is bringing us the third installment of our four-part series on the life of Eleanor Roosevelt.
As you recall, the last episode ended when Eleanor married her distant cousin, Franklin D. Roosevelt.
Just think, since she didn't have to change her last name, she didn't have to change the monograms on her hankies or towels. That was convenient, I'd say.
Uncle Dan.
Well, Aunt Carol, what happened next to the young Roosevelts?
Well, in 1910, Franklin was elected to the New York State Senate. And just 3 years later, he was appointed Assistant Secretary of the Navy under President Woodrow Wilson.
Wow, so I assume they had to move to Washington, D.C.
They did. It was in Washington that their two youngest children were born, bringing the total up to 5.
5 children?
Mm-hmm.
Eleanor must have been very busy, even with household help.
She certainly was. Besides being a mother, as a politician's wife, she was also required to make many social calls. Sometimes she visited 30 people in an afternoon and often gave a political dinner party the same evening.
I'm sure she was also expected to receive the wives of other officials.
She was. As a matter of fact, this was such a serious duty that once she received 2 visitors while sitting up in bed with a newborn baby in her arms.
That doesn't sound at all like the shy little girl who thought she was an ugly duckling.
You're so right. Eleanor hadn't completely overcome her shyness, but she was always brave enough to do what she thought was necessary. That's why I call this chapter, Nothing to Fear. When the United States entered World War I in 1917, Eleanor visited the wounded and persuaded the Red Cross to build a recreation center in Washington for soldiers and sailors. She even inspected a mental hospital for servicemen suffering from what we now call post-traumatic stress disorder. In those days, it was called shell shock.
But, Mrs. Roosevelt, I was expecting Secretary of the Interior Frank Lane. He didn't come with you?
No, Doctor. He wasn't able.
He couldn't face it, could he? Seeing the insanity, I don't blame him. But what about you? Aren't you afraid?
I can't say that it's something I would choose to do, but I make it a practice to do whatever needs to be done, and someone must inspect the hospital.
You're a brave woman, Mrs. Roosevelt. Here, let me unlock the door and we'll go in. And lock it again.
Oh,
are you all right, Mrs. Roosevelt? It is rather frightening to be locked in with the insane. Do you wish to leave?
No. I'm all right, Doctor. Thank you.
Oh, take cover, men. Into the foxholes, incoming! Get down, down!
What's wrong with that boy, Doctor?
He's repeating the last orders he received when the Germans were shelling Bella Wood. He lives that horror over and over again every day.
Oh, poor thing. What are his chances of recovery?
50-50.
How sad. And what about those men over there walking up and down in front of the window?
Those poor creatures would get well much more quickly if they could go outside and get some exercise and breathe some fresh air. Instead, they're cooped up in here with the worst cases because we don't have enough money to hire the staff to supervise them outdoors.
This is no way for a nation to treat the soldiers who fought for it. I'm going to speak to Secretary Lane immediately. I'm sure he can get Congress to appropriate more money for this hospital.
Eventually, Congress did appropriate more money for the care of the shell-shocked men, but Eleanor wasn't nearly finished with her efforts. Among other things, she went to work in a canteen in Union Station, serving meals to soldiers and sailors between trains.
Thank you, Mrs. Roosevelt, for picking me up in your car. It saves me so much time getting here.
You're welcome, Miss Patton. And it's really no trouble for me. After all, the chauffeur does the work of driving. I see the bakery has delivered the bread. I'll turn on the cutting machine and start slicing it.
And I'll start the coffee. Really, Mrs. Roosevelt, you act as if you don't do anything. But I know you're a very busy person. You teach, and you distribute wool to women who knit sweaters for the soldiers. And I saw how you rushed out of here yesterday to get home. You had a dinner to give, didn't you?
Yes, I did. And I got there in my Red Cross uniform just as my guests arrived. I've never changed clothes so fast in my life.
Ow! Oh no! You've cut your finger. Oh, that's deep. You must get to the doctor right away.
Oh, there's no time. The next trainload of servicemen will be here any minute. I'll just wrap my handkerchief around my finger and there, the bleeding has stopped. Now, let's get back to work. There's a lot to be done yet.
You're going to have a scar if you don't get that sewed up right away.
I'm not afraid of a little scar. Could you lend me your handkerchief? The blood seems to be seeping through again.
Oh, certainly. Here. I understand your cousin, Mrs. Longworth, will be working with us this afternoon. Will we see the senator, do you think?
Yes. Alice said her husband will bring her by. We can certainly use another pair of hands, especially with scrubbing the tables and mopping the floors after the boys eat.
Mop the floor? Eleanor, that's servant's work.
You don't expect our boys to eat in a dirty room, do you, Alice?
Of course not, but...
Look at the soup spilled next to that table. What if one of them slipped in it and broke his leg? That wouldn't help the war effort much.
Why don't I clear the tables instead? Or, better yet, I could wrap sandwiches for the next trainload.
Fine. You wrap sandwiches. Miss Patton can clear the tables and I'll mop the floor. This is no time to be afraid of a little work.
Cousin Alice never appeared in the canteen again, but Elenor worked there till the war ended in November 1918. In 1920, women voted for the first time, and Elenor, or Babs as her husband called her, found herself with yet another role to play.
Are you going to vote, Babs?
Yes, of course. It's strange. I always thought a woman's place was behind the scenes, but now that we can vote, I find I want to.
And you will vote for me.
Naturally. You're sure you want to be vice president?
I'm sure. And I'd like to ask you to come with me on the campaign trail.
Oh, Franklin, that seems so forward and unladylike.
I think it quite natural. If women are going to vote, they should see women on the platform.
Very well, dear, if that's what you want. I hope it helps. Franklin, I'm so sorry that your hopes have been dashed.
Don't be sad, Babs. This isn't the end. There's always the next election.
I hope you win what you have your heart set on.
Let's just forget politics for a while and talk about our vacation at Campobello next summer. The children and I have lots of fun when you take us camping.
Yes, they do always enjoy the camping trips I plan for us.
And I've got lots of plans to take them hiking, boating, and swimming as well. Nothing will stop us. Babs, I'm afraid I won't be able to go camping with you and the children. This chill I got the other day.
It's more than a chill, Franklin. I'll send the children camping with Mrs. Sherwood and Mr. and Mrs. Howe. I'm calling the doctor. You've been sick for 3 days already. Who knows how long this illness will last?
Babs, it's getting worse. Now I can't move at all. Not even my fingers or toes.
Dr. Lovett, I hope you can help us. My husband has been completely paralyzed for weeks. We've had other doctors look at him, but their advice hasn't helped.
Mrs. Roosevelt, I'm very sorry to tell you that your husband has infantile paralysis.
Polio? Doctor, tell me, will he remain paralyzed for the rest of his life?
I think there's a good chance that he will get back the use of his arms and hands. But his legs, Mrs. Roosevelt, it's quite possible that your husband will never walk again.
Eleanor faithfully followed the doctor's instructions for Franklin's physical therapy, and she made plans for the future.
Mrs. Roosevelt, thank you for seeing me.
Certainly, Mr. Howe. But first, let me say how grateful I am for all you've done for Franklin. Not only have you been his political supporter for years, but since his illness, you've moved right in with us and become his physical support as well.
Anything I can do to help him, Mrs. Roosevelt,
You're doing much to help him recover.
Well, that's what I wanted to talk to you about. You bravely stood with me in opposing his mother when she wanted him to retire to Hyde Park and live there as an invalid for the rest of his life, so I know you'll help me again now.
Oh, of course.
Well, remember how Dr. Levitt said that any chance of Franklin's recovery depended upon his attitude?
Yes, I do.
He must be made to take an interest in politics again.
I don't understand how I can help with that.
You must be his surrogate. You have to keep his name before the party so he won't be forgotten.
Oh, I couldn't. I've never spoken in public in my life. I'd choke up. I wouldn't know what to say. I couldn't possibly.
I'll coach you.
Very well, Mr. Lewis. I'll do it.
What an exciting convention, Mr. Howe. But who's that woman leading the Dutchess County delegation around the hall in support of Al Smith?
Don't you recognize her, Miss Cook? Make sure you remember her from now on. That woman is Eleanor Roosevelt.
Mrs. Roosevelt, I'm Nancy Cook, the secretary of the Women's Division of the New York State Democratic Committee. Are you familiar with it?
It's a new organization, isn't it? And very necessary, since the men have tried to keep us out of any real decision-making.
Oh, I'm glad that you agree. We're giving a fundraising luncheon in a few weeks, and we'd like you to give the speech. Will you do it?
I certainly will. Monopolization of power by the men. It's always disagreeable to cause unpleasant feelings, but I have come to the conclusion that this must be done until we can prove our strength and demand respect for our wishes. Men respect organization. Therefore, we must be excellent organizers.
It wasn't easy for Eleanor to make all these changes, and she made mistakes. But she worked hard, learned from her mistakes, and kept trying. Franklin regained his interest in politics, and although his legs were never completely well, he was elected governor of New York in 1928. The next year, the Great Depression began. In the midst of this, Eleanor had to run the executive mansion in Albany, arranging her busy schedule with her secretary, Malvina Thompson, whom the family called Tommy.
Then, every Sunday night, I'll catch the train to New York City, teach at Todd Hunter School through Wednesday morning, and in the afternoon, I'll catch the train back here to Albany.
Mrs. Roosevelt, I think it's wonderful that you and Miss Cook and Miss Dickerman bought that school. Your dedication is remarkable, but you have so much to do here. Why add to your burdens by teaching?
Tommy, I teach because I love it. I cannot give it up. I gave up my membership in the Democratic Women's Committee, but I'm going to hold on to my independence as much as I can. That includes teaching, the magazine articles I write, and the furniture factory at Valkill.
I think I see.
Just between you and me, my goal is to earn enough from my own work to equal my husband's income.
And to help people. You can't fool me. Since you and your partners established that furniture factory in 27, you've provided jobs for a lot of people in the Hyde Park area who are out of work. It's especially important now that the Depression is getting worse and people are suffering.
That reminds me. I'll also be serving soup down at the bread line.
Fine. I'll notify James to drive you and pick you up afterward.
Did everything go all right on the bread line today, Mrs. Roosevelt?
Yes, it did, James, and thank you for picking me up so promptly. I have several calls to make before we can go home.
Yes, ma'am.
By the way, Franklin and I are having guests tonight, and we're going to watch a movie after dinner. You will join us, won't you?
Oh, yes, Mrs. Roosevelt. The whole staff will be there, black and white. We sure do appreciate getting to watch these movies with you and the governor.
As long as they're in the house, there's no reason we can't all enjoy them together. Oh, James, stop. I'm going to talk to that man on the corner.
You mean that tramp? I better go with you then. Tramps can be dangerous.
There's no need for that. I'll be back in a few moments. Good afternoon, sir. Were you at the bread line today? I don't recall seeing you there.
No, I didn't know where it was. I've only been in Albany a couple of days.
Where are you from?
Oh, from out by Elmira. I lost my job a few months ago, so I sent the wife and kiddies to her parents. They'll be all right there. The old folks live on a farm. At least they'll eat. I've been tramping around the country looking for work. I haven't eaten in 2 days.
I'm sorry. I can't give you a job. And the bread line is closed for today. But I can make sure you eat. You take my card. See? I've written my name on the back, and you give it to the cook at the governor's mansion. She'll fill you up with a good hot meal.
Well, thank you, Mrs. Roosevelt.
Once more, Elenor became Franklin's surrogate. While the governor toured the grounds of prisons, hospitals, and orphanages in a car, Elenor went inside to inspect the premises.
So, Babs, was the hospital director telling the truth? There is no overcrowding here?
It didn't seem to be overcrowded. I'm sure he was being truthful with you.
And how did you reach that conclusion? Did you estimate the distance between the beds?
Well, no.
Did you look behind the doors, into closets, to see if cots had been folded up and hidden from sight?
I'm afraid I didn't. But I'll get it right next time.
Oh, my, Mrs. Roosevelt. We had no idea you were coming.
That shouldn't make any difference. The orphanage is run the same way every day, isn't it? Whether there's an inspection or not.
Why, of course. Just ask me any questions you want. I'm sure you'll find the answers satisfactory.
Yes, but I'd like to look around, if that's all right. First, I'd like to see the kitchen.
Why, that's easy, Mrs. Roosevelt. Here's a menu. It shows the nutritious, tasty diet we feed the little ones. You see? No need to go into a hot kitchen on a sweltering day like this.
The menu does indeed show a good, balanced diet.
See? I told you.
Now, I'll just go into the kitchen and have a look at this good food being prepared.
You will?
Are the orphanage directors feeding the children properly, Babs?
No, they aren't, Franklin.
What did you find out?
When I lifted the lids on the pots, I found nothing but cornmeal mush.
I was afraid of that. I've heard reports about that place, but nobody could catch them before. Now I can take care of the matter.
In 1932, with the country in the depths of the Great Depression, Franklin was elected president. Both the Roosevelts would be plunged into controversy. The first objection came from Eleanor's mother-in-law.
Elenor, never tell me you're going to take Negro servants into the White House. It's the most important home in the country. It deserves the best.
Mother Roosevelt, when Franklin and I came back from our tour of inspection of Europe in 1919, I found my household a shambles. The servants, all white, had become lax and uncaring.
I hope you replaced them.
I did, indeed, with colored servants. And, Mother, my household has never run better. I want that same care for the White House.
But Elenor, it's just not done.
It is now. Our servants have a gift for humor and kindliness, and I find I simply like to be around them. Any of them who want to come with us will be welcome.
You'll set Washington on its ear, my dear.
Eleanor continued to use public transportation. She dressed casually, and she refused Secret Service protection even after her husband was shot at in Miami. After the inauguration, she did reluctantly give up teaching. She had a whole new job, and a friend, reporter Lorena Hickok, had a request.
Mrs. Roosevelt, you know Mrs. Hoover never granted interviews. Well, not until the very end. She stayed out of the public eye. It's the way First Ladies have behaved since Martha Washington.
There isn't going to be any First Lady now, Hick. Just plain, ordinary Mrs. Roosevelt.
Nevertheless, you are the First Lady now, and the country wants to know what you're thinking and doing. Why don't you hold press conferences of your own with just women reporters? That would give a boost to the prestige of women journalists.
What a good idea! I'll check it out with Franklin and Lewis Howe, of course, but I'm sure they'll agree with us.
Perfect.
But no political questions. That's Franklin's domain. We'll be criticized enough as it is.
What shall we talk about then?
Things like malnutrition, how people can eat low-cost foods high in nutrients.
How about sweatshops?
Absolutely. I'll urge women to patronize merchants who provide decent working conditions, and we can call for an end to child labor.
Good heavens, I've got to leave. I can't be late for Mrs. Roosevelt's press conference.
Yeah, you go to your hen party, Bess, and get all the big, important news.
Go ahead and make fun. You'll be laughing out of the other side of your mouth one of these days. Just because we're women doesn't mean we don't have anything important to say.
Today, ladies, we will hear from the first woman cabinet member. Secretary of Labor Frances Perkins has an announcement to make.
As you know, the President's Recovery Program has provided many thousands of jobs for young men through the Civilian Conservation Corps. At Mrs. Roosevelt's suggestion, I have decided to try a similar program for young women.
Come on, Bess, give. What did the First Lady say? You women are getting all the good news first. It's not fair.
Why, we're just having a hen party. You couldn't possibly be interested in what a lot of women have to say. Now, could you?
Please, can't you get me into the next conference?
No, I can't. It's just hens. No roosters allowed.
During the previous administration, angry World War I veterans had come to Washington, demanding the bonus promised them, but never paid. Driven out by the Army in 1932, they had returned by the time the Roosevelts moved into the White House in 1933. They were called the Bonus Army.
Lewis, what progress have you made since Franklin put you in charge of dealing with the bonus army?
We haven't been able to shake the bonus out of Congress yet, Mrs. Roosevelt, but I have been able to enroll 1,200 of them in the Civilian Conservation Corps.
That's good news. At least some of them can provide for their families.
But I haven't been able to persuade the others to disband, and their anger seems to be mounting.
Lewis, I want to visit them. And no Secret Service escort. We're not going to meet with them with police surrounding us.
This is it, Mrs. Roosevelt. Hundreds of disgruntled veterans are camped here. Are you sure you want to talk with them?
Of course I am, Lewis. You stay in the car. Good afternoon, gentlemen.
It's Mrs. Roosevelt.
The First Lady.
What can we do for you, Mrs. Roosevelt?
To begin with, I'd like a tour of your tents and barracks, and then I'll join the mess. Thank you for your graciousness this afternoon. I especially enjoyed singing with you.
Every time I hear someone sing, there's a long, long trail. I'll think of you, Mrs. Roosevelt.
Me too. Bye, Mrs. Roosevelt.
Thanks for coming.
Bye.
Thank you.
Well, what about that? Hoover sent the army. Roosevelt sent his wife.
You know, I think we can trust this president. Maybe it's time we packed up and went home.
I think you're right. Let's go. I vote we disband. All in favor? Aye!
Eleanor's bravery had saved the day, but she wasn't through yet. Be sure to listen to the next chapter, which I call The First Lady of the World.